A very pleasant Tuesday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untangle. Want to say a very special morning to you, Richie. You have yourself a wonderful day, Richie B. And Audley, you also have yourself a wonderful day. And welcome, one and all to Untangle on the Bridge 99 FM. Thanks for joining us wherever in the world you are. Thank you very much for joining us. So, here we go. So, we want to say welcome to Untangle. Stephanie, you're live on air.
Hi, how are you?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad.
That's what I wanted to see. I couldn't wait to see the picture. Trust me. Yes, so there we go now. Now we can start our conversation. All right. So, first question, Stephanie. Well, I really want to ask you first why you say we call you Steve, but hold that only one there. That's really the one I want to ask you first, but I don't want to. No, hold it. I don't really feel ask you it. Were you always passionate about cars and fixing them, or was it a discovered passion?
I would say it's a discovered passion. Sorry, I always loved cars though. Like for sure, I always loved cars. I used to grow up watching Formula One and stuff like that. So racing was more what I was into when I was younger, not necessarily the fixing of the cars.
Wow, that picture should be a magazine cover. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that picture. Yeah, man, I really anxiously awaited these pictures. All right, so you see the picture that's up, right?
I can't see, so I'm
you
not
can't
sure
see it.
Okay, well, two pictures, so I figure I know which two you're talking about.
All right, it's the one with you sitting down on the engine inside of the car. Trust me.
That's one of my favorite pictures, actually. So yeah, man, I love that one.
All right, beautiful. All right, so you said that you always loved cars, but the passion for fixing cars was something that was discovered.
Correct. Yes.
All right. So how was it discovered?
It's a funny story. I drove a Jetto a few years ago, and the water pump on my car went bad. Where I was working at the time, a coworker of mine had told me about a mechanic that specializes in VWs. So I said, can I get his number? Because, I have a VW and it's not working. Called him and got the part sorted out, and he fixed the car and he gave me back the car. And I randomly asked him if he'd be willing to teach me. And he said as long as I was serious, he would. And here we are.
So you randomly, look here. People fix my car all the while. I mean, never randomly has none of them yet. Oh, it fix and please if me can fix it. Me say, oh, that randomly something they come in just so.
I think I've always been a free spirit. I enjoy just about a little bit of everything. So I think that when I saw something, I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. I don't know anything about it, and it looks interesting. So why not? Wow. Knowledge is cool.
Okay, very interesting.
But if you had asked me at that point, if I'd seen myself where I am now, I could have never dreamed this one. I couldn't have dreamed this one.
Wow, it's just interesting how things inspire us, and this is exactly what we're unearthing on this program. As look here now. So your specialty is Volkswagen and Audi. So
yes.
It's as a result of the Volkswagen that you had, and the parts that the bridge or the bridge until you say him fix the car.
Correct. Okay. I mean, that's what he specialized in, and I'm learning from him. So I'm specializing. So this kind of thing that's off of that.
Vaughn, you can turn it down a bit for me. It kind of sounding muffled, her voice. All right. So how the Audi came in?
He works on both vehicles, like both types. Oh. So I learned from him, and seeing as well that's what he works on, I work on it as well.
Wow. When you say you learned from him, take us through that learned from him something. Because,
You mean like the stages?
Eh?
The stages, you mean?
Yes. I mean, the stages that you had to go through. Can you make it sound easy, and it cannot be that easy?
All right, well, I probably started ordering parts. So I learned about the different parts on the car, how they fit, how they line up, and how you know which ones to get, which one's the right one for the right car, so on and so forth. After I started ordering the parts, I got more into servicing. So the first thing he taught me was how to service my own car. So change oil, change filters, dispatch, spark plugs, put back my tire, put back on my tire, all of that kind of stuff. Because he said if I can't work on my own car, I can't work on anybody else's car, which is fair. So fair. I did that. And then he had a job out of town, and I asked if I could come with him. And we went. It was he's a mechatronic on a Q5 at the time. I didn't do any of the work. I was just watching and passing tools and asking questions because I'm big on asking questions. I'll ask you 500 questions because I just want to understand and I want to know. So that's how it started there. And then I guess I liked it. And he was teaching me and I was liking it. And I got more serious about it. And then we got here. I remember, I think it was Bird Bush of 2019. I just saw Amrox everywhere. They were everywhere. And I was like, I don't want to work on gas. I want to work on diesel. I mean, he loves diesel as well, so it wasn't too hard to transition. And I was like, I want to be the queen of building Amrox engines. I said it would just...
Hold on a little bit. So you're already working on something we don't know about as woman most of it. Most of we have car where it's gas reuse. You don't want to deal with that. You want to deal with something harder. So you
I like challenges. I like challenges. And he worked on Amrox before. It just so happened that when I started working with him, he wasn't working on them as much. So I didn't have a lot of experience with them. And I said that, and now I get so much joy from fitting up an Amrox engine. Like, it's really one of the highlights of my days when I do it. So,
okay.
Like I said, it's hard to explain the story because it sounds too good to be true. I know it does. And I would just call myself lucky because not everybody can find somebody and they actually learn and they actually really like it and make a career out of it. But
not everybody can find a teacher like yours because the average man is very impatient. Much less when you go ask him now if him to teach you as a woman film job and him actually teach you.
And apparently people have asked him before and he told them no. So I don't know. I guess it was blessed.
Wow. All right. So you prefer diesel run vehicles to gas vehicles, right?
I do.
Oh, for people listening, not men, but particularly for women listening, most of us, when we have a leaking tire or the tire puncture, we come out of the car and we smile very prettily. Very, very prettily. Because we say, I hungry so that I go get change. What would you suggest to us as women that is easy? Take us through an easy transition into helping us to be able to fix our own car, starting with just changing the tire. What would you say to women who don't even know how to fix them, how to change them tire?
What would I tell them to do or how to learn how to do it?
How to get interested in just at least learning that and moving.
For me, I don't like to be disabled on the road. So if I can do it myself, I'd rather do it myself than wait on somebody. Get a whole breakdown and be waiting on the mechanic to come and they take 5 years to come. And you just feel like you're going crazy. I don't like that feeling. So I would never want anybody to hear that. But changing your tires, it's not as simple as I'd like it to be because you have to jack up the car. You can't do the car on all 4 tires. So you'd have to know where to jack up the car. But you'd have to crack the lug nuts before you even start jacking it up because if you don't crack it before, you won't have the leverage to fully loosen them when it's off the ground. Taking the tire off isn't easy either because they're not light. Mm-hmm. And then lining it back up to then put the lug nuts back on is also very challenging. So there are tools that you can get that can assist you putting it back onto the rotor. Mm-hmm. But not to sound discouraging, but it's not an easy thing to do. Changing a tire is actually one of the harder things to do on a car.
Okay.
But it's not something that you can't learn. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just saying that you'd have to be really up for the challenge and you go and get dirty. There's no way to change your tire and stay clean. There's no way to do that one.
Well, it's comforting to know, at least some comfort to know that is really one of the hardest things to do because it is difficult. And, the reason that you said should inspire us to learn it ourselves, you're right. Because, nowadays, man, we just drive past you and tell you, say, nice smile. Just go about the business. No, trust me.
They see you working on the car versus you not doing anything. That would more intrigue them to stop if they actually see you trying to take the tire off. Oh, wow, she's trying to do it. Let me go help her.
Oh. Gosh. All right. So let's go to the name now. So you are Stephanie. Why you want us to call you Stevie?
Because I don't like Stephanie. I don't love the name Stephanie, and I feel like I've always wanted that nickname. If anybody who knows me knows that I've always wanted that nickname, and I don't want it to be Steph.
You don't want it? You don't want it to be Steph?
It's not that bad. Stevie comes off of my last name, so it works. It works. Since I'm not getting anything else, I had to create my own nickname, so let's just work with that one.
So you're sure that you don't want that name because it fit more in the male-dominated industry that you're into?
Not necessarily. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it's not necessarily.
It doesn't hurt. It certainly doesn't hurt. Okay, me go call you Stephanie. Me care about with this
That's
TV.
right. That's right.
All
That's
right. So Stephanie,
right.
people actually calling, first of all, before I get there are three gentlemen. Well, there are four in the studio now, but there were three in the studio when I asked the question, would you leave your car with Stephanie? And the good news is that even the most difficult among them said yes, he would. So that is good news. So let me
That is
ask,
good news.
eh?
That really is good news.
Yes, it is good news because I was expecting the most difficult among them to say, no, 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 no. But he actually said yes. So my question to you now is, how do you find men responding to you? Do they actually give you jobs to do?
It's varying. It's not straight across the board. You'll have a person that will come in and think that I did paperwork or I passed the tools or, anything except actually getting dirty. But to be very honest with you, for the most part, I haven't been disrespected frequently.
Okay, I like the word frequently.
People are respectful of what I do, and I think it's just more like if you have confidence in a person, you have confidence in their work.
Right.
And if you're not confident in what they're doing, that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not gonna try to convince you of something that you can't convince yourself of. But at the same time, ask me first before you ask me if I can do it or I'm unable to do it. So give me a chance. The same way that you give a mechanic, you give a car to a man and hope that he can fix it. How you know he can fix it? Because he's a man. That doesn't qualify if he can fix my car. So
for real.
the same chance you take on a random stranger, you can take it on me.
So how have the men been rating you so far?
I haven't gotten any complaints. Probably just I'm miserable. But apart from that, I haven't gotten any complaints. I'm not the best. I don't smile a lot. So people say that I have a strong face.
Oh.
So that's probably one of the most things. And then as I said, I'm miserable. So or I'm miserable at times. And if you get me miserable, it's very hard for me to keep it to myself. I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it.
Okay. So you put on your poker face to deal with this one?
A little bit, yeah.
Yes, you have to. So here's another question that I really want to ask you. The average mechanic, you always say to yourself, Lord have mercy, me sorry for him wife. Because the in dirty bad. And the fingernail them do a pretty there, What if a blacky, what if a blacky in that? So I see where you look to.
I've been a babe, so I don't look at that all the time. I do take showers regularly.
No,
I also wash my hands.
No, the one that we Stevie, the one that we made to. But you see the grease in the finger, them hard to come out.
I take care of my hands, so I do my nails every weekend. So that definitely contributes to them not looking as dirty as they possibly could be. But to be honest and to be fair, it's not an easy thing to get out of your fingernails. Like, you'll have grease stains for days, and it don't mean that you never wash your hands. It's just not easy thing to get out. So when you see somebody look greasy and dirty, don't think that them never bathe. Just think that they work really hard. Really, really hard. And think about the fact that you probably never took care of your car, so your car was mucky and dirty when they got it, so that's why their hands look like that.
That's a very good perspective. Yes, I love that. And I guess the same can be said about a farmer, because sometimes you're in the garden and you're not even, you do your nails too, but you don't realize it.
You don't do it on purpose. You don't say, okay, today I'm going to see how dirty I can be. It just kind of happens, and you work with it. So be grateful.
Oh my God. You're funny. You're quite funny. Well, some of the mechanics I see, sometimes you want them say, boy, I'm going to see how dirty I can be today. But anyway, you said it's not intentional. All right, I get that.
Well, for me, it's not intentional. I can only speak for myself.
Okay. And is it lucrative, a business? Do you actually, pay your bills?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's hard work. So you value your work based on how hard it is that you're working. It's not only about, okay, it's the simplest thing to do, which means it's cheap. Not necessarily. 1, 2, once you work hard and you're confident at what you're doing and you price yourself in a relatively acceptable range and people are willing to pay for it, then you get paid.
Yes, I get you. And eventually you can open your own shop, right?
I would like to.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. So that's the good thing about it. You can start your own business. All right. For those listening, particularly women who are hesitant to immerse themselves in a male-dominated area, what would your message be to them?
Just do it. Like, I don't even think I thought of it as a male-dominated field when I started until people made me feel like it was a male-dominated field, in the sense that people have a way of projecting things onto you that you never even saw for yourself at first. And you kind of run with that into learning with your feelings and how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. I don't doubt myself. If I doubt myself, I ask questions, I get help. Everybody starts from some, everybody's learning, everybody's growing. The same mechanic that you trust for 10 years, you need to start somewhere too. And everybody has a path and a journey. And if you're passionate about something, you should never let what somebody else says about it stop you from doing what you want to do.
Absolutely. Well said. Very well said. So, last question now. I asked you how your colleagues feel about it. How do women, women on the street who see you, how do they respond to you as a female mechanic?
Well, for the most part, it's well received. I mean, I see the looks when I walk into a store is not the cleanest. And I'm assuming that the dirt is also telling you. So we work with that. But people tell me that I inspire them. People tell me that I have shown them that there's a different way. Up to last week, somebody was in supermarket and saw the person that I worked with and asked him for me, but I wasn't there. And she said that she saw my thing in the Star, and I think that intrigued her to she wants to quit her job and become a mechanic. And when people tell me these things, I am blown away because I never know how to inspire anybody. I mean, I inspire myself, but I never thought I would inspire anybody else. And I mean, I'm headstrong. I'm very driven in whatever I want to do, and that does help. But don't get me wrong, there have been days where I'm just like, I don't think this is for me, and I doubt myself. But people are going to think what they're going to think. They're going to say what they're going to say, and they're going to do what they're going to do. Yeah. And you just have to stand up for yourself and stand strong in yourself. So somebody might not like you or might not like what you do or look down on you because of what you do, and you might not feel like you're received in the biggest room in the world. But if you go home at night and you're fine, it really doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. Absolutely. And you've been quoted as saying, I've been inspired by my own journey and wish this feeling of euphoria for everyone. And I know exactly how you feel. So we just want to say congrats on your bravery and congrats on just doing you and inspiring others to just do the same. Continue to do you, sis.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yes. You can be found on Instagram and TikTok as
Girl GreaseMonkey.
GreaseMonkey. That is why me did think say you're greasy. But you know something, though? No, don't trust me. So you are actually GreaseMonkey on IG and Girl GreaseMonkey on TikTok.
No, it's the same for both. It's Girl GreaseMonkey for both.
Oh, for both. When we started the interview, the first thing I said to you is that I wanted to look at the pictures. And it's very important. It was very important for me as a woman. I'm sure my sisters are just the same, to see those pictures. And one of the things that really, put my fears to rest is that you are fashionable in the clothes them. Your jeans them is short in. You have on a nice t-shirt. You're not greasy. And you're young and look good and fashionable same way. So no matter what job you decide to take on, you can take it on with class and style and grace, man. So,
thank you.
Yeah, man. Bless up yourself and continue to do what makes you happy.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Take care. Bye. We're meeting some of the most interesting young people. So that was Stephanie Stevens, who prefers to be called Stevie, and she is a Jamaican mechanic who specializes in Volkswagen and Audi cars. And she has, she's on the internet, and she is GreaseMonkey on Girl GreaseMonkey on IG and on TikTok. So you can check her out and see if you like what you see, and if you can engage her in perhaps a job or two. Going to take a break. We soon forward. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mama Kelly. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Nice to hear your voice once again.
Always a pleasure. So, yes. Bye, Richie. All right. So, what's going on in?
Boy, we're there, Mama Kelly. It's been a weekend of violence here in New York City. 2 police officers were shot. One of them died. and the other one is now fighting for his life. He's in critical
mercy.
condition. The suspect who shot him was also shot, and he succumbed to his injuries yesterday, and he passed away. So now the mayor is, he's laying out a whole new plan to battle gun violence here in the city. And, he's wondering about, how the guns are getting into the city, because we don't manufacture none in New York City. So, that's a big thing right now for the mayor, something that's at the top of his list on things that he has to do.
Well, I guess the whole world is wondering, because we are here also wondering, well, some of us know exactly how the guns are getting in, but the way how the guns are getting in here in Jamaica, it is coming, a lot of the guns are coming from your side, and they are being shipped, and they are on planes, and it tells us that somebody at the very top is all part of this.
Someone doesn't want to stop this. There's someone there that does not want this to stop. If I feel like there's a lot of money invested in having these guns in the streets and getting these guns in the wrong hands, and should that stop, then that money line is going to cut off as well.
But what a worthless individual that is, because they must see the repercussions of all of this. And this is somebody who is supposed to be, based on the position that they hold, this is supposed to be a responsible individual here in Jamaica. Them find gun, pan top a gun, and it coming in through the airport. And can you imagine how many guns have come in that has not been intercepted?
Right.
And obviously it must be coming from, or it must be people in high places are turning a blind eye. And that's exactly what is happening your side.
True indeed. It's part of a big cycle. If you don't have the guns in the street, you don't get the crimes committed. If the crimes are not committed, you don't get the people into the jails and the prisons. So there's the money involved.
So we're saying that crime actually pays, but who?
Exactly.
Wow, it's serious. And
Yes.
You guys coming up with a crime plan, and you're gonna have a way of making a crime plan work. We need to follow suit, because we now come up with no crime plan, and it making it very clear that we have a crime plan. Or you sent me one. All right, well, Vaughn sent a crime plan. We certainly hope it work.
Yes, we do. Part of the mayor's plan is to, put back some plainclothes police officers in the streets as part of, curbing the crime situation. One of the things that they are not bringing back, though, is a stop and frisk, where, officers used to just stop anybody in the street and just frisk them if they suspect them of, having a weapon or drugs or anything of that nature.
Yeah. Okay, so there is another one. Okay, let me read this to the listeners of the Irie Jam. It says, Horace Chang, Minister of National Security, said the government would re-examine legislation allowing civilians to assist law enforcement in reducing crime. This would apply to licensed firearm owners. In addition to that, Dr. Chang believes that unarmed citizens can also help in the battle against crime. According to Chang, citizens without access to firearms should not be discouraged from assisting law enforcement in the fight against crime. He went on to say that everyone has a vital role to play in this. His remarks come at a time when many are questioning if the country's current crime problem can be solved. There is also a requirement for personnel to be thoroughly vetted and trained before they are authorized to intervene. What the crime plan there? It? Okay, no, we are to the very end to see if the end part of it from me don't get it yet. Dr. Chan said the police are best equipped to deal with these situations. Since when? No, I must have yesterday that gone.
But Mama Kelly, it look like we untangle something, because Thursday we spoke about this.
Yes.
We brought up this topic on Thursday, saying if citizens should start to carry licensed firearm if it would help with the crime situation.
I remember the conversation.
Yes.
But I don't understand why why he's specifying that people who don't have firearms should help the police. No disrespect, but look here now, respectfully, sir, and no crime plan that. You see, if you were to read out what the people in your part of the world says crime plan, they'd probably would hear them probably hear the conversation we did that from last week and be inspired, because as far as me concerned, we still don't have no crime plan.
Right.
We're not a crime plan, which part is there?
And nowadays, even to before people help people when them see crime are going, them take out them phone and start video.
Lord
So
have mercy.
that is the next thing.
You know, look here. As some know say no crime plan no there, you know. Because if I that them and wait, but no, it is very serious, you know. It's serious in a Beauregard.
Yes.
All right. There are some people who are saying that even if the government have a crime plan, them can't tell we. Show it then, no, man.
Right.
Me understand if you can't tell we. But tell we say you have something, should not tell we, but you soon see it play out. But we don't see nothing like that. We don't see nothing like that at all. And you know, it past which part Mr. Chang just talked about. Past this a long time. Because a long time them think they've been people been, you know, encouraged to tell the police, encouraged to do all of them something. It's like you're depending at Mark, you still, you know. All of we have to help with crime. I agree with that.
Right.
But the crime plan can't depend on we. It can't depend on the citizen them. It depends on the people them who we are actually paying to come up with a plan.
True.
At them it depends on. Anyway, a better news, you know, that one lady coming at the thing now, I don't know if that will help out. But anyway, newly appointed Chief of Defense Staff of the Jamaica Defense Force, Rear Admiral Antoinette Wems Gorman, says she is committed to changing the culture of violence affecting the country. And you know, she was sworn in on the weekend, right?
Yes.
And it says, as we deal with issues of safety and security as a nation, I am confident that the JDF is prepared to confront the challenges to our peace and security, which is a good idea. But you know, say, when you start to have the JDF come into the crime plan, soldiers train for shoot and kill, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Train for war.
it's them trained for war. So, me no know. Me no know if I that's how it reach. Probably I that's how it reach and we don't know, you know.
Maybe. Maybe desperate times call for some desperate measures. Who knows what they're thinking?
I don't know. But you see, this is her response. And, you know, she was addressing members of an audience during the change of command parade. I am, you know, I don't know. I want to be hopeful because we see where women come with a different mindset, and hopefully them can't get them as easily in the corruption, because the man them seem to be very corrupt, and I think that is why the crime now go nowhere, because people are lick them finger. Me now go say who, you know, because I don't know, but people obviously licking them finger left, right, and center. And me is prepared to say, although me not call no name, say most of them are man.
True. That's okay.
No, big and serious. No, seriously.
Yeah. But you know, I also want to big up the new Chief of Defense Staff, the Rear Admiral Antoinette Gorman. She is from Clarendon, also, right? She is from Clarendon. So you know, there's something we can untangle, Mama Kelly. Can we say that Clarendon could be called the parish of the week?
Why?
With so many things happening, they won the Garvey Maceo Cup.
Oh yes.
They won the Edwin Allen Cup.
Yes.
They won the Clarendon College also won their championships. Glenmuir, one of the top 3 schools in Jamaica, along with Wolmer's and St. Diego, also in Clarendon. And
no, Wilmer's and St. Jago in a Clarendon.
No, I'm saying Glenmuir.
Oh, Glenmuir. Oh, we just I go tell you, so yeah,
Yeah, one of the top 3 schools.
Okay.
In Jamaica, along with Wolmer's and St. Diego.
Okay, great. All right, fine. You know, we're really looking forward. You know, we're looking forward to a new mindset. But trust me when I tell you, no disrespect to my producer who just sent that, because Van there say when we are talking, I say no man, him come with a crime plot. Where they? which part is there?
Hopefully they will update it soon with some more information. Let's see.
You know, man, Bridget, me live here, you know. Trust me, me live here. No crime plan no there. Probably then make you know just call Admiral Bailey then. Inside that, no, call Admiral Bailey, because it look like him have more plan, more the crime minister there. Him have more plan because him feel more detailed. Don't it?
Him don't have him plan laid out.
Yeah, me not see none well laid out a while ago.
Here's what we have to do. Let's do this. Yeah.
What Beauregard? What?
No, I'm talking about what Admiral Bailey, you know, with his plan. He already laid out his plan, and he was specific we should go about it, so he's ready.
Very specific and very ready. And anyway, look here now. We're getting the cut signal. So what's going to happen after we take the break, right? We're going to have a young lady by the name of Nika Leslie. She's actually your side. She's Jamaican born, but she's your side, and she's a very interesting. See, I don't know her, but we're going to talk to her because she has a beautiful voice. You will listen and you will hear for yourself. So after this break, we're going to. She originally from Westmoreland, but she's in the States there now. She have a new collab with Busy Signal, and we're looking forward to talking to her. So we can do that after the break. All right?
No problem.
So we have live on Zoom Nika Leslie. Good afternoon, Nika.
I'm here.
That sounds much better. All right, so let's. You're there for true. All right, so let's talk about your Jamaican roots. You're born and raised in Westmoreland. All right, tell us about what age you migrated. Them kind of something there. The way they are Westmoreland or Pandong Barefoot. Them something there.
Yeah, so I was born in Westmoreland, Lamar Hospital, and at the age of maybe 2, 3 is when I migrated to the States. But I actually went back to Jamaica for all-age school and high school. I went to Darlington High School, and after that is when I migrated back here.
Okay, Darlington is where you said it?
Yeah, I went to Darlington High School.
Okay, great. All right. So you migrated at what age?
2, but then I went back and forth. Yeah.
2? At
Yeah.
2? So you're American, man. Okay, all right. So that's your Jamaican roots. All right. So how and when and where did you launch your career? Well, and the where not necessary anymore. I couldn't have been when you were 2. So it is really no how and when.
Unfortunately, I lost my mom when I was 6, and that's when I started leaning on music, and I was exposed to so many different genres, living in the U.S., so I kind of have like a thing going on, and I finally got the courage to take it serious around like 18, although I was in like theater, I used to sing, I was in choir, but a long time for me to actually get the courage. So I started at about 18, performing my music, recording it, and then early 20s is when I actually started hitting the stages, and now I'm doing bigger collaborations, producing my album.
What is a fusion artist? Because you're being described as a fusion artist. Who is a fusion artist?
A fusion artist is a mixture of different genres. And that's the best way I can describe it. It's going to be a little bit of dancehall, a little bit of Afrobeat, maybe some pop in there. So it's just a fusion, like, when you make some soup, you got to have the right ingredients. So that's what I call myself because I can't categorize it just one way. So, yes.
Right. I kind of figured that it was, right? So the song is a fusion of reggae and the Afrobeat. What is it? What is, and you produced it, right?
Well, actually, it was a collaborative effort with JRS Music. He's one of Butch's producers. So, big up JRS. It was a collaboration between he and I.
Okay. All right. So what is it that inspired the team of producers to mix the reggae with the African beat on this particular track?
So I wrote the song. I came up with it. The hook was just inspiring. I couldn't get the melody out of my mind. And I wrote it. I heard the beat, and instantly I knew it was something special. And I actually flew to Jamaica just to record that song. And then I thought, I was like, I need somebody, the right person on here, and no other than Busy. And it was a perfect collaboration. They all just made it happen, and it is now a great song.
It's a wonderful song, and you have a beautiful voice. So,
thank you.
A very beautiful voice. So, let us talk about the lyrics. You said you wrote it, and it's actually a celebration of Black beauty and African heritage.
Absolutely.
I have to ask the question, although it may be an obvious one, but what inspired that?
Well, I just wanted to put out something that was bigger than me. I wanted put out something that can make little girls smile, give them something of quality, to listen to, and make them feel good, you know. So I love that song Brown Skin Girl by Beyonce. It's an anthem, and I love songs like that. I felt like, you know, I could make my own. So
Right, beautiful. It's wonderful that you could choose. It's wonderful one that you chose those lyrics, and it's a perfect time because you know that we're celebrating Black History Month, and it's going to be released by then, right?
yes, they'll be released on Friday.
Right. All right. So tell us about the Busy Signal connection. How would that go?
Actually, I brought it to Jay August, and he made it happen. Busy liked the song. He didn't make us wait. And in no time, he sent it back, and I loved his verse. And it just flowed very well. So that's how that happened.
Why Busy Signal? There so many? Well, I know why. I'm just asking you why. Why did you think that he could, you know, flip it and you know that kind of groove?
Yes, I'm very careful about the artists that I choose, and Busy is just so consistent. I just knew that he just had what I was looking for as a producer, wanting a great project, and I knew that he would bring his A game, which he did. It was so easy to work with, and that's why I chose Busy.
All right. Beautiful collaboration. But I want to find out more about Nika because, yes, we have this one song with a collab with you and Busy, but it seems to me that you are, as I said before, an extremely brilliant vocalist. Are there any other songs before this? Are we going to hear more from you? Are you promoting any, I don't know, EP, CD?
Oh, absolutely. I've had music prior to this. I released something recently, a visual with Naveen called Topsy Turvy Love. It's a beautiful love song. The visuals are available on YouTube. So that came out recently. I wish to have an EP later this year, so I'm aiming for that. It doesn't have a title yet. I'm still working on it. But yes, you'll always hear music continuously, and I'm always working on new things. So yes.
Okay, great. Are you prepared to give us a little bit more of your voice? Because on this medium, we always like to, you know, say, you know, or prove that our guests are real singers and not just, you know, bossa artist kind of thing. One of the reasons why I particularly invited you is because I'm like, yes, she's a real singer. Is there any song that you'd like to share with us a cappella?
Why not African Girl, since that's what we're promoting?
Yeah,
you know?
Go ahead.
All right. Stepping out of place, you full of fight, you are the boss, yeah. Pick what you want, no checking tags, we don't care what it costs. African girl.
Beautiful. You have a lovely voice. I would love to see you experiment with all different genres. What's your favorite genre to sing, you know, through?
Let's see. I love my reggae. I mean, I just love so many. I love Latin music. I'm just one of those people who don't necessarily have a favorite, but if I could narrow it down, it would definitely be my reggae music. I love my parents and I love my old school reggae music. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. I don't know if you know, but we're actually streaming live as we speak to the tri-state area. And my co-host is Beauregard. He is the host of the Reggae Jam, Irie Jam, and he's actually listening here now. You wanna ask something, Beauregard?
Yes. Good afternoon, Nika.
Good afternoon. Hi.
How you doing? Love your voice, love your music. I was listening to what you were saying about the artists in being very careful about choosing the artists that you work with. Who are some of the other artists that you look forward to working with, or is there anyone that you have worked with before other than Busy Signal?
Yes, I have worked with other artists. Playing a collab with Pure, which we're waiting for that to come out. So there are some people that I definitely want to work with. I love Listed Conscience. I think he's an amazing artist. I like Premium. I like, let's see some of the females. I'm a big time Stevens fan. So yeah, those are some of the people, and then I'm still going down the roster, and yeah.
All right.
Okay, so this particular track, it's not yet released. So when do you plan to release it? And is there a music video to go with it?
Which one?
The African Girl.
Oh, the music video will be on Friday, the 28th. Yes.
And when will it be released?
Friday the 28th. The visuals will be released. Yes.
Okay, Friday the 28th. That's just in time for Black History Month. Yes. Is there any other major project that you're working on? I know this is a project and it goes off on the 28th. Is there any other major project that you're working on that you think we should know about?
Yes, my next release called Real Life. It's a really, really beautiful record. I think it's just so relatable. I was very careful about the way I wrote it, how I produced it, and it just is a really special record to me. It'll be out early March with visuals. Already working to get that out, and I'm excited. So I feel like that's a major project for me. Yeah.
Okay. Beauregard?
No, that's it.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. How easy or how difficult is it because although you're left at 2, you're still going to be seen as a Caribbean girl. How easy is it to break through the North American market as a Caribbean girl?
You know what? Contrary to what a lot of people believe, like, we are very loved everywhere. And actually, the moment a person finds out over here that I sing a different kind of music, fusion, reggae, they're willing to listen to it. And it actually has worked for me personally. And people have responded to my music very well on this side.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So you're looking forward to seeing the response of this particular track, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say to those who are listening all over the world? We're on the internet and we're streaming live to the tri-state and we're streaming from Jamaica. Is there anything you think that your listeners would like to know about you?
Absolutely. First off, I want to say thank you for making the time to accommodate me today. I've always listened to the station and I'm grateful to be on here, so thank you. And I just, if you have a dream and you just continue to stay focused and just trust God, feel like anything is possible. So I'm very spiritual and I really mean that. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, you can view any of my music online. Just search Nika Leslie. You can follow me at official Nika Leslie on Instagram. Don't be afraid to speak to me. I am very approachable. And thank you for having me. An African Girl will be out on the 28th, Friday at 12 p.m. So don't forget to watch that.
Wonderful. I wish you all the best. We always like to hear from our listeners what they think. I'm pretty sure, Beauregard gave his opinion already, and I'm pretty sure all of our listeners, if not most of our listeners, will appreciate the fact that you have a beautiful voice, you have a beautiful face, you have you have content, the lyrics are beautiful, and you're gifted with a beautiful voice. So the combination of all of this, you should do very well. So all the best.
Thank you, Ms. Elise. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Beautiful. So that's a conversation with Nika Leslie. She is a US-based fusion artist. She's actually originally from Westmoreland, and she has a brand new track coming out that she does a collaboration with Busy Signal, and we're loving it so far, and I'm sure this is going to do well. So, Beauregard, what I want to ask, is your side. When you are getting vaccinated or booster shots, does the question of your immigration status come up at all?
It doesn't.
It doesn't?
No. They're not asking that. As long as you get online or make that appointment, they're going to give you that vaccination.
Okay, because I was just wondering if that would stop some people from actually getting the shots.
No.
Okay.
It hasn't so far. We haven't heard anything like that. They're not asking anybody to declare their status.
Well, this must be the only thing them not asking nobody to declare them status. So people could have just go take it just through them, not ask them no question.
Yes. Yes.
Well.
And even today a judge ruled that neither the governor nor the state health commissioner have the authority to impose the mask mandates that they imposed in December. And the governor now says that her job is to protect all New Yorkers, and that's what she's going to do. So they're getting ready to fight this new ruling that came out yesterday.
Fight against it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been a lot of judges who has blocked some of the mandates, but after a while they have gone through still, or they have gotten them reversed. So we keep seeing the blocks coming, but they keep removing the blocks after a while.
Okay, I hear you. Because we have to remember that mandates are not laws, but I hear you. And how is the new variant? Is it calming down your side, or
Yes, it is. It's actually calming down. The cases are going down. I believe even the CDC came out and said something about natural immunity was better than being vaccinated. That's what they're saying. So a lot of people are now confused. The confusion continues. It's just crazy right now.
Speaking about natural immunity, I think that's what has been happening with the Omicron, because it's a virus. It kills some people, but I am more convinced every day that the natural immunity is taking effect. And a lot of people, well, if your immunity is good, are just not getting sick, whether they have taken the vaccine or not.
True, indeed. True.
So natural immunity has always been something that has been recommended. And it just seems to me that the experts can tell me if I'm totally off, but it just seems to me that in the same way that somebody with a cough on you, right? And you don't catch them whatever them cough out. No, sorry to be so vulgar about it, but I mean, you don't catch them cold then, right?
Right.
I am thinking that it is perhaps the same way that if your natural immunity is bolstered or so. It is just boosted. Yes. It's just as difficult to catch any virus. I'm thinking, as I said, I could be wrong, but that's how I'm thinking, because why I say that is that there are some communities that I know here in Jamaica, right? And me going to the community, them in a mask, and sometimes if you take off it, I don't take it off, but nobody don't have on no mask. And there's not an outbreak of any kind of virus in them community there where know that as a fact.
There are many places like that, a lot of places. I know a lot of people who haven't gotten sick throughout the whole 2 years, or nobody in their family or anything like that. While on the other hand, we do know of people who have been sick and people who have died. So it's strange and it's confusing, like we have been saying.
Yeah, it is. It is a little confusing. There's a lot of clarity for me here now, based on what I've been seeing. Because as I say, like for example, down at some seaside, the air and the breeze there is very pure. I've never seen any of these fisher folk protecting themselves, and they don't get sick.
And speaking of seaside, Mama Kelly, I saw you on social media. You just take a walk on the seaside the other day.
You see them both suppose they do. How where do some people, Beauregard? How where do them? Sure. Them don't know what.
Yeah, man. I see you walk out on them.
Lord of mercy. What you say, walk out?
Yeah, man, walk out on them, yes.
You should have seen the comments on Instagram. Tell you, walk out, mama. So we love that something there, man. So where you see it, Instagram or Facebook?
On Instagram.
Oh, you use Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah, I figured so. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Like you see, like how which part me did a walk out, I mean, as we say, me and my crew have our mask because we not take no check, right?
Yes.
And we don't suggest that a guy take no check.
Yes.
But if you notice, after a while, it's like people them look for me like them and wonder where take me, because they say nobody not have on none. And them anyway, we're not promoting that at all. But it's just an observation, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I had another story I wanted to get your opinion on if you had the
Yes.
time for it.
Yes.
The University of Pennsylvania has a transgender swimmer. Her name is Leah Thomas, who previously swam for the UPenn's men's team for 3 years before transitioning, and has been making and breaking the school and national records this year. Now, recently, the NCAA, which is the National Collegiate Athletic Association, had to review their guidelines to accommodate the transgender swimmer. Now, this has been in the news a lot, and a lot of people are saying it's not fair to the girls on the team or the girls who she's swimming against, because he or she continues to beat the girls on the team, and it's a boy that's swimming as a girl. And a lot of people are saying it's not fair to some of the athletes who have trained all their lives to compete against women like themselves, and now they have to be going up against a male swimmer who's a transgender. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I agree with them. Caster Semenya, that's how we pronounce her name. She's an athlete, a long distance athlete, and she's come up against a lot of criticism too, because she is beating the women, but she's not transgendered. This is how she was born, and she was born a woman. So my opinion of that would be a lot different from someone who was born a man and who have all the male hormones and all testosterone and all of that, like a man, same way. And
Right.
in my opinion, that is unfair. What is your opinion?
I mean, I look at it the same way. You know, these young ladies, they have trained, done everything that they need to do. And now they're basically going up against men who, like we say, are probably more physically stronger than them to compete in the sports. Probably have more, adrenaline and can do things longer than the woman. You understand what I'm saying? There's a
Yes.
difference in how the man is going to perform versus. And on the other hand, it's the same thing if you were to have a woman says she's going to play in a man's sport. That might be unfair to the men as well, because then they still look at the person as a woman, and they probably wouldn't go as hard as they would, in competing against that person, simply because they might not want to physically hurt that person.
Yeah, for real. I agree with you 100%. So it I don't think it should even have been a question, because it is obvious that this person, although they're transgendered, them still have the male hormones and them still stronger, and it's still I think it's very unfair.
All right.
So something though, Beauregard, I think, if this is not sounding strange, I think they should have a transgender competition
Exactly.
where people who are so as not to alienate transgendered people.
And the only other person to beat this person, Leah Thomas, was another transgender male.
You see, there you go. I think there you go.
None of the women them were born women can beat it.
A two-man.
Yeah.
No disrespect. But them,
Yeah.
them probably should. To be fair, they should
Yes,
really
it's-
have their own competition.
It's definitely not fair to the girls. I don't think that's fair to them.
I don't think so either. So, time catch up on I.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so we do this again on Thursday. Always looking forward.
More untangling on Thursday, Mama Kelly.
More untangling, my brother.
More untangling.
You mean. All right, have a wonderful afternoon.
You
and
too.
bless up your listeners, all right?
All right, you take care.
All right, cool.